Okay, hi. I'm gonna be showing you how to use the PWM 555 to create a dimmer for an LED. So we're essentially gonna use disregard this part right here. This circuit. You're gonna have your 555 module here. Two diodes. Could be any. I'm not using the one in 5818. I'm using the one in 4004s. So you could change that however you'd like, as long as it's similar to them. 100K pot. Um, Farads, three capacitors. A 10K resistor. And basically you just hook it up as shown. You could disregard the transistor and the motor here because we're not using those. So essentially we're just going to be using this circuit with this one being the power for the LED. This is the general diagram for the 555 circuit. You're going to have your ground, your trigger, output, and the reset. The reset should be attached to the 3 to the 15 volt. It shouldn't matter. You wouldn't really need that. Discharge, threshold, and then your control voltage. You could go through by yourself to see how this 555 clock works. But moving on to the breadboard. So we have it hooked up as it's shown. Connected the two rails, so both rails are usable. The 100K pot. The middle of the pot is connected to port number 3 on the 555. Two diodes, one connected to the left, one connected to the right side of the pot. Make sure you know each diode is facing a separate way. That was one of my troubleshoots. You're going to have your .01 microfarad capacitors and your .01 microfarad capacitor over there. It's all hooked up together. And this mess on. Let me try to zoom in here, or focus, however. Yeah, so they're all connected. Port number 4, 8, and 7 have this weird interaction with each other. So, and I was looking here, it got me troubled. So, 7 is hooked up to the capacitor, to resistor, and it is hooked up to port 4 and port 8. So make sure you see those pink dots. That means they are connected. And then it goes to a capacitor to the ground, and then from this spot, it's connected to your voltage. So let's fire it up. I have my ground and my voltage from my voltage source, power supply. I'm running direct current. So right now I'll put it at 0 volts. The LED I'm using is from Seoul Semiconductor or Ackrich. We see here forward voltage max of 3.4, min 2.9, so anywhere around there should be able to turn it on. You can go over it, I believe, but you shouldn't try to push it too hard. So I'm gonna turn it to about 3.2 volts. That should be sufficient enough. So looking at the diode on this starboard, it is on, so you could kind of see it turn on right there. As I turn up the potentiometer, we should see it get progressively brighter. So that is the LED turned on. So the pot is turned up all the way. So what is happening is we are modulating the pulse width, so the LED sees short bursts of voltage from the power supply, and that will effectively, to our eyes, dim the LED. If the pulses are too far spread apart, I believe we will see like blinking. But with the values of the capacitors and the resistors we're using, we won't really see that because it's so small. So you see it dim at the lowest setting, and as I turn it up to the right, you will see the LED get brighter. Sweet.